Hello and welcome to video number 2 of the St. Aloysius Family Faith Formation Program. After the end of the first video, I left you with a couple questions to ponder, which I do plan to circle back to at the next video, video number 3. But for today, I just want to provide more information about the program in a question and answer format where I will be asking and answering the questions. I want to step back for a minute to reflect on last year. It was a challenging year, and for sure, it was often tempting to say, God, why is this happening? But it was also consistently easy to shift into a different type of question and saying, what am I supposed to learn from this? How is what's happening meant to guide us in understanding what our families need in regard to family faith formation? How can our parish, how can the program, how can the community itself support parents and our whole community in developing the faith of our youth? And so it took these questions and researched and read and attended and questioned and observed and listened, and I prayed, and I prayed some more, and what we ended up with was really a good segue into this year's Family Faith Formation program, a Sophia Press program called A Family of Faith. And so let's begin with question number 1. Will we be doing the same thing as last year? Well, while last year's program was a family faith formation program where parents and guardians attended a session to learn about the content, and children then went with their catechists to also engage in a lesson and learn, that role during during the off or the not in person sessions really placed parents in more of a class, like a teacher in a classroom setting, more than a parent learning faith with their children session. And the assessments weekly, though they did help provide some accountability and helped parents to move forward with the lessons, and showed what students were learning about, it really felt more like homework. It really seemed to more than desirable put religion in a content area and not as something being experienced together, not in developing a relationship with Jesus together. And so this new program is encouraging and that the hopes of bearing more fruit. What we did like from the program last year was the parents learning together. That was fruitful. The sessions where certainly some people felt like they were forced to have to be there. Others really expressed gratitude for being able to learn about their faith in a way they never had before, and to learn things that they hadn't before. It gave them a sense of confidence and a competency in being those faith models in their children's life, and that was a win. That was something that we do want to take away from the program and keep. The program, the goal is to support parents into developing their own faith formation as a way of equipping them to participate and practice faith together as a family. Question number 2, so parents will meet for a presentation. What will the kids be doing, and how is this different? Well, the children will still meet with their grade level catechists for some peer interaction, and we've also been able to add the kindergarten level to this. Since we won't be using grade band books, we will be using an activity guide and a and a parent guide. Each family will get one of each of these regardless of what the ages of your children are, because the activities we'll be doing will be done as a family together. So it doesn't matter if you have a 6 and a 9 and an 11-year-old, for example, you'll be working on activities as a family. And you think about it, it's much like if you're going to a museum or a tourist attraction or out to dinner or even to mass, and how as parents we're always thinking about the developmental needs of all of our children and catering to that. If you go to a museum, you might have one child doing something and an older child doing something else, and that's what you're going to find with this. You might have your youngest child working on an activity page while an older child might be on a computer doing a little bit of research and then reporting back based on the inquiry, the information they found to share with the rest of the family. So So that's got a more practical application for families to be able to utilize together. Question number 3, shouldn't the content areas be different by grade level? Well, we're, again, the Sophia Press is based on a cycle of 4 years of themes that parallels the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and each family will get one of these to utilize as a resource. The 4 pillars of the Catholic Church are the Creed, Sacrament, Life in Christ, and Christian prayer, and we will be starting with Christian prayer. That means the entire year we will be focused on learning how to pray, learning about prayer, and different types of prayer, and that everything will be focused for that year on that one pillar of the Catechism, and it'll cycle for 4 years like that. Question number 4, so will there be assessments? There will not be formal assessments like quizzes or tests for families to complete at home, but instead we'll be providing materials to put together a poster board, some way of chronicling the different activities that you do together as a family throughout the month. And you can have all the children do that, or you can just create something as a family, very basic or as elaborate as you want to. It's just a way to be able to share when we come together, the sharing of ideas, the helping each other as parents to be able to be creative. And it's what we do anyway on social media. If you think about it, we're always posting the fun things that we do with our families, or something creative that they did, and so we're going to kind of continue in that vein. In fact, we will be adding to our Facebook, our parish Facebook page, we'll be adding a group for the Religious Faith Formation program, so that we can actually share some of our creativity and maybe ask questions or interact. It's not mandatory that you become a member of this group, but everyone in the Faith Formation program will have the opportunity to, and it's just a different way, another way of engaging in community. So take advantage of that, if you will. Our main source of communication still will be Flocknote, and it will be imperative that everybody be on Flocknote to receive communications. And that's an internal app. That's not anything that would be shared socially. The social media group will be a closed group. People have to they will have to request to be in it, and we'll be able to monitor it and utilize it in a way that's safe for all. So question number 4, that was question number 4. Question number 5, so that's it then. Attend once a month and then do 2 activities and whatever we want during that month. Well, pretty close. That first session, as we mentioned, will be where we're all being catechized about the content, and the families will do 2 lessons after that, based on a whole host of activity possibilities. So those 2 lessons have a lot of flexibility for families. Then we will come together for what's called a community session. You'll see it on our schedules or calendars as 1C, C standing for community, or 2C. Now, those community events, whenever possible, will actually be things that are happening in our church community, like the backyard bash, for example. And so sometimes, and in fact, a lot of times, the second session won't be from 9:05 to 10:05 on a Sunday, because they just won't make sense to fall there. Like when we're doing Eucharistic adoration, we'll be praying and learning that, and families will have an opportunity to go to Eucharistic adoration that we schedule, or our normally scheduled Friday sessions, whatever meets the family's schedule. But clearly that wouldn't work for an hour in between masses on a Sunday morning. So you'll see that second session will be very flexible in when it happens and how families participate in that. Another example is in May, we'll actually be doing a work of mercy, and families can choose an activity to do together, and so clearly that's not going to meet a community session need. So one thing, though, that I just love about this program, it's the biggest thing, is the flexibility and how awesome it is in being able to accommodate families' needs. In an ever increasing, demanding world, parents are often trying to make decisions for their families on what's best and juggling things, and this program allows so much flexibility. I wish I'd had it back in the days when my children were traveling so much for sports, because it doesn't matter if you're in Detroit or in Indianapolis, the activities that you can do together while you're traveling on the road. There are even the book even has car conversation tags that you can hang on your rear view mirror and have these conversations while you're driving. So lots of flexibility, lots of opportunities to really engage together and model that faith, which is so important to living faith. So in the next video, I do plan to share a bit of personal testimony and support for the why of the program. In the interim, please feel free to contact me with any questions you may have via email or through the parish phone, and I look forward to meeting you all very soon. Opening day, September 12th. Take care.